just really dial in specifically foot to foot, side to side to the individual, dealing with, you know, conditions like plantar fasciitis or iliotibial band issues and things like that, as well as fitting the individual feet. We have different varus wedging inside the shoe, different levels of footbed arch support, and different levels of cushioning that goes into the shoe. And we'll go through all of that. There's like 650 different combinations between the two shoes that can occur, and I did not do the math on that, somebody else did. But yes, you've got a hot sauce out there. And what you're looking at here down in front is the 2011 lineup. We've made a ton of changes and improvements in the line. Back here is 2010 run, but you want us to go model by model and give you tag specs? Or
maybe more a general philosophy, how, why, and how.
And then maybe not go through everyone, but maybe go through
the tops.
Highlights.
The tops, and then we're kind of doing more with the minimalistic movement. Okay. So if you have one there.
Yeah, we're doing a lot with trying to bring some of the key components of minimalism into kind of our full line of shoes. We're doing kind of our two flagship shoes for 2011 are our Renaissance, which is this shoe, and our Exact Change. We're taking these and taking them from a standard 12mm drop and dropping them down to a 4, which we're actually calling not a drop. With the testing that we've done, a 4mm drop is actually a neutral platform when you run because your heel compresses more than your forefoot. So dropping a 4mm drop actually gets you on a completely level platform, and it gives you that little more of a forefoot style. You know, it gives you that same flat platform without the kind of absolute minimal midsole. So much of the minimalism right now is, you know, racing flat or super thin, and this gives you the ability to bring that same geometry into a more mass-friendly shoe. You know, your standard, you know, your average 20-minute 5K-er can't transition straight into a racing flat or even a, you know, a Kinvara, anything like that that's a super minimal shoe. So this is kind of our transition into that. Then for 2012, we're going to extend that. We're going to bring in a lightweight trainer that's kind of a mid-grade, and then we're dropping down. Right now, our Hot Sauce, which is our race shoe, still has a 12mm, but for fall 2011, we're actually dropping that down. So it's going to have, I believe, a 6. We don't have the exact specs on it yet, but it's going to be the more flat platform. We just see that there's a lot of, you know, obviously the biomechanics make sense of the barefoot running, but you know, the human body with asphalt, concrete, you know, you just can't handle miles and miles and miles with an absolute minimal shoe. So this is kind of the ability to bring that barefoot geometry into a more mass-friendly shoe. We also have what's called Barefoot in a Bag coming out in the spring. It's going to be something that's really it's a very minimal shoe, flat, real low volume midsole, but it's actually designed as a training tool. It's going to have a DVD that was done by the Boulder Center for Sports Medicine, and it's going to be a break-in period. It's going to be, you know, drills to do and a whole training program to use a couple days a week. Both the design, the DVD, and the price point are going to be set as an ancillary tool. It's going to be, you know, definitely a lower price point than the regular shoe. Everything designed to be something you use occasionally, something a couple days a week, 2-3 days a week, and not something that's going to be, you know, out there every day like people that are trying to jump, you know, right into a Vibram or something like that, where, you know, we see a lot of the, you know, the physiology of the barefoot movement is solid, you know, but trying to jump right into that is just a way to get right into injuries. So this gives both a transitional way of different models to kind of work their way down if that's the direction they want to go, as well as, you know, the Barefoot in the Bag, which is going to be a training tool to help them get there and to get some of those benefits of complete barefoot running and without having to go out there no shoe and worry about, you know, rocks, stone bruises. You know, you can go out in a grass field and not worry if there's thorns, things like that. But it gives you that same, the ability to train with those and gain those benefits without having to worry about the dangers of that.
So did you say in these two shoots here that the heel drop would go to a 4 this year or
right.
fall? Right now?
For spring 2011.
Okay, for spring 2011.
Yeah, these two, the Exact Change and the Renaissance are going to be a 4mm 4-spring. And then for fall, the hot sauce, which is our race shoe, is going to drop down. I believe because of the thinner midsole, it's going to have a 6, but it's going to be definitely a much more minimal drop than what it's been in the past, than what the current model is. That'll also drop the Westridge. Our trail shoe is also going to drop to that 6. But that's, again, that's fall 11. So still a year away, but not. The spring models are going to still be the 12mm. If you want to go through the component system?
Yeah, so in spring 11, we've changed. We used to do a bin system where you would have the shoe and then have a bin of parts. We switched it for spring, and we're calling it Sum in the Box, which basically means you'll have a standard setup, the most average, widely used setup in the shoe. So the diameter of cushioning will be 55. It'll be the mid-level arch support, and then a 2mm Varus wedging, and then all the rest of the parts will actually be in the box, in the shoe box. So the shoe box has been redesigned to hold all the parts, so you can just sit and fit right there on the fly and not have to run to a parts bin and get what you need. And then you can actually send the rest of the parts, with the customer if you like, and let them play with it. And I have a lot of retailers actually that are keeping all the parts and wanting to maintain the fitting and recommending come back in for tweaking. If you feel any shin splints or anything like that, come back in and let us service you, get them back into the store for a little more add-on. So you can do it either way. But so the program is 3 different levels of footbed arch support. We call it a plus system, so 1+, 2+, and 3+, low, medium, higher arch. Actually, in the spring we're actually bringing out a 4+ system, so a little bit higher yet. And we're redesigning the whole footbed for next year too, where the Varus will actually be built right into the footbed itself, changeable. Varus wedging built right in, as well as the arch support will be a pop and go, and the net support will be a pop and go. So you'll have different levels of net support as well. That's coming down the line too. But so for now, 3 levels of footbed arch support, and you're welcome to feel these. And then inside, to compensate for gait issues, we have 3 different levels of Varus wedging, which is 2, 3, and 4mm of canting or posting. That's at the heel and the forefoot as well. So take a look at those too.
Also, in those insoles, you can see those are the 3 and the 1 are our 2009 insoles. The 2 is actually the 2010. So you can see we've added a lot more structure to that insole.
They just don't break down.
The red one, yeah, is gonna. That way, it's going to maintain that arch. It's going to maintain the metatarsal support. It's going to give it a lot more durability, so that it doesn't just break down. The older insoles, it started out, but through testing, we discovered it was just kind of breaking down a little faster than we wanted. So we've updated that, and that kind of red and gray bottom. Yes.
So I would imagine the choice for the arch support is just based upon comfort. Whereas maybe the wedges, you use some sort of use the video analysis to determine which wedge?
Well, we have 2 different ways that we determine wedge. We do a static bended knee. Did you bring your laser alignment in?
It's in the car. I didn't
grab it. So we'll grab that. There's a laser alignment device that we use. That's a static bended knee test where we're seeing whether the knee is overpronating or if it's supinating. And the device actually mimics the different levels of Varus wedging, so you can post the person right on the device and get the knee to track into neutral. So, and actually you can even use the footbed arch support to help with pronation as well. I know for me specifically, I actually have 2 different matrices that I can use in my shoes. For this side that I overpronate on, I can do a 4mm Varus with a level 2 arch, or I can do the middle Varus and a higher arch, and that helps control my pronation as well. And you can actually even use the cushioning a bit to control gait issues as well. There's 3 different durometers of cushioning, so 45 real cushy, 55 middle of the road, and 65 our firmest cushioning. So for someone like me that overpronates just on one side, I can actually go soft in the heel with a 45, firm it up in the forefoot of the shoe, and actually control the gait as well. But we use a combination of all of that to compensate for gait issues as well as specific conditions. Like if I get somebody that comes in with plantar fasciitis, I can really soften up the heel and I can go to a level 3 footbed and support that plantar ligament and help get that inflammation under control. So it can be, condition specific.